If you think silent films are boring, grainy antiques with nothing to offer modern audiences, think again. As the saying goes, you only don't like silent films because you haven't seen the right ones. The silent era produced some of the most visually stunning, imaginative, and flat-out entertaining movies in history. In this countdown, we present 28 silent films spanning from horror, fantasy, thriller, and drama that will change your mind about what silent cinema is capable of. Number 28, Menilmontant, 1926. No intertitles, no dialogue cards, just pure visual storytelling at its finest. Menilmontant opens with a brutal sequence, rapid cuts, quick flashes of an axe, and sudden silence, all before we even know the characters. The rest unfolds like a dream, following two sisters in Paris navigating love, poverty, and betrayal. It's short and unexpectedly modern in its rawness. If you think silent acting is all over the top, Nadia Serbaskia's subtle, heart-wrenching performance will prove you wrong instantly. And yes, I'm sure I pronounced her name wrong. However, this is silent cinema stripped to its essence. Number 27, The Lodger, 1927. Before Psycho, before Vertigo, Alfred Hitchcock gave us a silent thriller about a London serial killer known as The Avenger. When a mysterious stranger rents a room from a family, paranoia sets in. Could he be the killer? Hitchcock's fingerprints are all over this. Moody lighting, inventive camera shots, and a masterclass in building tension without a single spoken word. It's not just early Hitchcock, it's essential Hitchcock, and a blueprint for decades of suspense cinema to follow. Number 26, The Bat, 1926. Imagine Batman's villainy mixed with Scooby-Doo shenanigans and old dark house chills. A mass criminal known as the Bat stalks a mansion full of people on a stormy night, leaving ominous notes and sinister shadows on the wall. This proto-superhero horror comedy inspired everything from pulp crime serials to the creation of Batman himself. It's creepy, it's funny, and it's pure fun from the first shadowy silhouette to the last dramatic unmasking scene. Number 25, The Hands of Orlac, 1924. The origin of every killer hand transplant story you've ever seen on screen. Conrad Veidt plays a pianist who loses his hands in an accident, only to be given hands of a murderer. Slowly, he starts to believe they're controlling him. Robert Wine's direction creates a suffocating atmosphere. Veidt's spiral into obsession is as unsettling now as it was a century ago. It's psychological horror at its most primal, tapping into the fear of losing control. Number 24, Warning Shadows, 1923. A film told entirely without title cards, and somehow it works flawlessly. A dinner party turns into a surreal nightmare when a shadow puppeteer's performance reveals the jealous suspicions festering in the room. Are we watching reality or prophetic vision? The expressionist lighting and surreal visuals pull you in until you can't tell the difference. It's hypnotic, eerie, and unforgettable. A wordless masterclass in atmosphere and emotional storytelling. Number 23, Destiny, 1921. Fritz Lang's mystical anthology about a woman bargaining with death to save her lover's life. Death offers her three choices set in different times and places to change fate. What follows is a visual feast. Flying carpets, towering spectral figures, and some of the most creative in-camera effects of the 1920s. Part fantasy, part tragedy, all unforgettable. It's a movie that makes fate itself feel alive on screen. But if you think these were strange, wait until we get into the truly bizarre moments of the atmospheric nightmares that silent cinema dared to make. Number 22, The Raven, 1915. One of the earliest cinematic homages to Edgar Allan Poe, blending his biography with surreal adaptations of his works. We see visions of the telltale heart, And of course, the haunting blackbird itself. It's theatrical, yes, but when Poe's hallucinations take over, it's genuinely chilling to watch unfold. For a film over a century old, it captures a timeless Gothic dread beautifully, layering shadows and candlelight in a way that makes you feel trapped in Poe's fevered mind. Its blend of biography and nightmare imagery makes it hauntingly unique. Number 21. Eerie Tales, 1919. An anthology introduced by death, the devil, and a seductive figure stepping out of paintings to tell 5 twisted stories. From ghostly hotels to severed hand revenge, it's an early example of how horror can thrive in short, sharp bursts. Each tale has a different tone, but together they create an unforgettable, dreamlike mood you won't forget. The shifting styles keep you hooked, as if wandering through a gallery where every painting hides something sinister, whispering its story into your ear before vanishing. Number 20. Hexen, 1922. Part documentary, part fever dream, Hexen examines the history of witchcraft with scenes so wild it was banned in multiple countries. We see demonic rituals, flying witches, and enough nightmare imagery to make modern horror look tame. It's fascinating, disturbing, and oddly funny in moments, a mix no other film dares to match. The combination of scholarly narration and outrageous visuals creates a hypnotic effect, pulling you deep into a medieval world where superstition ruled and the grotesque felt as real as the air you breathe. Number 19. Genuine, 1920. This is a bizarre tale of a high priestess turned femme fatale. Twisted set designs, hypnotic seductions, and a hallucinatory atmosphere that makes you question what's real. Its strange pacing and eccentric visuals make it a one-of-a-kind experience, worth revisiting for its sheer boldness alone. Every shot feels like a painting come to life, dripping with surreal details that make you lean closer. It's a fever dream of lust, control, and danger, daring in ways films today still avoid. Number 18. Dante's Inferno, 1911. A tour through hell based on Dante's epic poem, complete with massive practical sets, demons, and rivers of fire. For 1911, the visuals are astonishing, and some images are still nightmare fuel today. The ambition here is jaw-dropping, turning early cinema into something grand and totally unforgettable. The filmmakers didn't just adapt a story, they built an entire underworld from scratch, filling it with withering bodies, monstrous forms, and landscapes that seem to stretch endlessly into the abyss. Number 17. A Page of Madness, 1926. A Japanese avant-garde masterpiece set in a mental asylum, filmed without any intertitles. The editing is frantic, the visuals distorted, putting you directly inside the character's fractured mind. It's intense, haunting, and unlike anything else in silent cinema's entire history. Every frame feels unstable, as though the walls might close in at any second. It's less a film you watch than one you experience, plunging you headfirst into disorientating chaos you can't easily escape. But silent horror isn't always doom and darkness. Sometimes it mixes scares with laughs in the most entertaining ways possible. Number 16. The Monster, 1925. Lon Chaney in an early horror comedy about a mad doctor luring victims into an abandoned asylum. It's part spooky mystery, part tongue-in-cheek parody, and it's easy to see how it inspired decades of old dark house stories. It's lighthearted in places, yet still manages a few genuine shivers. The shadows stretch long across dusty corridors, secret doors crack open, and the uneasy laughter it provokes reminds you of how closely comedy and horror often dance together in the same trembling floorboards. Number 15. The Cat and the Canary, 1927. The blueprint for almost every haunted house mystery that followed. Inheritance drama, a creepy mansion, hidden passages, and an escaped lunatic known as the Cat. It's suspenseful, funny, and brilliantly paced, with inventive camera work that still feels fresh nearly a century later. The film drips with atmosphere, candlelit hallways, shifting eyes in the dark, and the constant suspicion that danger might be just behind the next door. It's the kind of movie that makes you grin while clutching your seat. Number 14. Metropolis, 1927. Yes, it's sci-fi, but it's also a dystopian horror story about dehumanization. Towering cityscapes, robot doppelgangers, and revolutionary chaos make it unforgettable. It's a visual symphony of scale, ambition, and human emotion unlike anything filmed before or since. The workers move like trapped shadows, and machines roar like living beasts. And the eerie transformation scene remains one of cinema's most hypnotic moments. It's both a warning and a wonder, wrapped in steel, steam, and sorrow. Number 13. The Golem, 1920. Jewish folklore brought to life a story about a clay creature created to defend the community. The towering figure's tragic arc directly inspired Frankenstein. It's powerful, eerie, and full of images that linger in your mind forever. The Golem's silent, heavy steps echo through crooked alleyways, and the ornate storybook-like sets feel alive with mythic weight. It's as much a tale of protection as it is of the dangers of wielding great power. Of course, silent horror could also tug at your heart while scaring you, and these next ones prove it. Number 12. The Unholy Three, 1925. A circus ventriloquist, a strongman, and a dwarf form a bizarre criminal gang. Lon Chaney spends half the film disguised as an old woman and somehow makes it both funny and menacing. It's crime, mystery, and horror blended with Chaney's unmatched talent for transformation. His performance shifts effortlessly between warmth and menace, drawing you in before you realize you're trapped in his game. The carnival origins give everything a strange, highlighted reality, where danger hides under layers of deception, and the line between trick and crime blurs completely. Number 11. West of Zanzibar. A dark revenge tale with Chaney at his most twisted. Crippled, embittered, and obsessed, he spins a years-long plan to ruin the daughter of his enemy. It's disturbing, brilliantly acted, and drenched in a sinister mood from start to finish. Every movement is deliberate, every glare heavy with rage. The setting, remote, humid, and almost claustrophobic, becomes a character in itself, wrapping the audience in the suffocating weight of his vendetta. By the end, you're left both horrified and oddly sympathetic. A testament to Chaney's complexity. Number 10, Waxworks, 1924. Another anthology. This time the stories of 3 wax figures come to life. Khalif, Ivan the Terrible, and the brief but terrifying appearance of Jack the Ripper. It's playful at first, then turns dark, showing the range silent cinema could achieve. Each segment is a visual treat, shifting styles to match its subject. The Ivan sequence is suffocating in its cruelty. With the Ripper's moments so brief yet unforgettable, it feels like a nightmare you only half remember. Number 9, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1923. Chaney again, this time as Quasimodo. The makeup is incredible, but it's the aching humanity between the monster that makes it timeless. The emotional weight here is just as memorable as its towering cathedral sets. From the first toll of the bells to Quasimodo's desperate fight for Esmeralda, the film captures both grandeur and intimacy. The stone walls seem to close in, and every shadow feels steeped in history. Chaney makes you feel every moment of the Hunchback's pain, longing, and fleeting joy. Number 8, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1920. John Barrymore's transformation scene is still jaw-dropping. No CGI, no cuts, just raw acting and makeup, morphing before your eyes. It's theatrical but deeply unsettling, showing how performances alone can terrify. The way Barrymore contorts his face and posture, and even his breathing turns the transformation into something primal. The horror isn't just in Hyde's appearance. It's in watching the civilized man vanish entirely, replaced by something that feels less human with every passing second. Number 7, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, 1920. Expressionist sets twist and warp like a fever dream. Caesar, or Cesare depending on how you want to pronounce it, with his dark eyes and creeping walk, is still one of horror's most haunting creations. Its influence on horror design is immeasurable even today. The jagged buildings, the skewed windows, and painted shadows create a world where reality is unstable. Watching Caesar carry the sleeping heroine through the night is like witnessing a living nightmare, one where beauty and terror are inseparably bound in each tilted frame. Who Laughs, 1928. Conrad Veidt's carved grin inspired the Joker, but his tragic love story makes this as heartbreaking as it is unsettling. It's both romantic and grotesque, a balance few films manage so perfectly. Veidt's eyes carry all the pain his smile can hide. The gothic settings, carnival scenes, and sweeping romantic gestures clash with the cruel irony of his disfigurement, making every tender moment feel like it's teetering on the edge of tragedy. It's unforgettable in both its beauty and its cruelty. Number 5. The Phantom Carriage, 1921. The ghostly carriage that collects souls is one of the most beautiful, eerie effects of the silent era. The story of redemption will stay with you long after the final frame fades. Its influence can be seen in films decades after. The double exposures give the spirits a dreamlike transparency, gliding through the world unseen. Beneath its supernatural premise lies a deeply human story of regret, forgiveness, and second chances, making it as emotionally stirring as it is visually haunting. And now, the final four, the ones that still send chills down the spine of everyone who watches them. Number 4. Faust, 1926. Murnau's visual wizardry turns this tale into a cosmic battle between good and evil. The opening shot of the devil's wings stretching over the city is unforgettable. The film's scope and ambition make it feel epic in every sense. The towering presence of Mephistopheles looms over the human world, while sweeping landscapes and supernatural storms make every frame feel painted. It's a story of temptation, sacrifice, and damnation, delivered with the kind of bold cinematic vision that can still overwhelm an audience nearly a century later. Number 3. The Unknown, 1927. Chaney at his most extreme, a circus knife thrower who pretends to have no arms, hiding a dangerous secret. The twist is as shocking now as it was in 1927. It's disturbing, brilliant, and unforgettable in its cruelty. Chaney's performance blends desperation, obsession, and a dangerous fragility that keeps you on edge. Every moment feels tense, as if the truth could shatter the illusion at any second. By the end, you're left stunned by just how far his character is willing to go. Number 2. Nosferatu, 1922. Max Schreck's Count Orlok is still terrifying. The shadow creeping up the staircase remains one of the most iconic horror images ever filmed. It's the vampire story stripped to its purest nightmare form. The pale, rat-like features and unnatural movements make Orlok more plague than man, and the film's use of light and shadows turns everyday locations into places of dread. even now, its atmosphere feels diseased, as though watching it might somehow curse you. Number 1. The Phantom of the Opera, 1925. Lon Chaney's skull-like phantom, the Technicolor masquerade ball, the crashing chandelier. This is the crown jewel of silent horror. It was once the longest-standing soundstage in history, and while Soundstage 28 may be gone, the ghost in this masterpiece lives on forever. The Paris Opera House is both grand and claustrophobic, a place of music and madness. Chaney's unmasking scenes still jolts audiences, his anguished performance giving the monster a tragic soul, its spectacle and emotion perfectly entwined. The ultimate testament of the power of silent horror, the film that haunts the imagination long after the curtain falls, leaving you with beauty, terror, and sorrow in equal measure. Even a century later, its echoes still shape horror's visual language, a reminder that some phantoms never truly fade away from our dreams.